what you see here is that this assistant can speak in Nigerian context, understand the Nigerian language, understand what a typical Nigerian mean, that alpha and all of those things. It understands, yes, and it can integrate with many tools. It can send emails, it can log. For example, we have some. It can create events on your Google Calendar where it can create a call. It can log a call for you and your client. Probably when it is able to secure that conversation. A lot of this is not needed. All of this can be done without human in the loop. Of course, you can have one person, but the essence of this is, let's say for example, you need 10 people in your sales team or 7 people in your sales team. With just one person in your sales team, you are good to go and you can scale your business. And that's the advantage of AI, and it never sleeps. And the reason why we're doing this is to show a lot of businesses that it's easier to do business now with AI, because AI is able to make things easier and faster. You're able to cut costs, spend lesser in terms of your operational overhead cost, and also increase revenue exponentially, basically to make your business more efficient. And that's the reason for why I'm doing this, to show a lot of businesses that yes, this is doable. And if you are also interested in learning this, then you're welcome to follow through. Then of course there will be a link at the bottom of the video at the end. Yes, you can always click the link at the bottom of the video. So what do I have here today? What I have here today is a multi-agent system that works in the real estate industry, but of course it can work with any industry. Maybe the auto dealers, it can work with almost any industry. It can be tweaked, just a very basic configuration, because what we have done is to have a template that works with different industry, an entire sales engine that is automated. So let's say for example, you can run ads, and you run your ad target to make a lot of people comment on your hard post. You can infuse an AI agent, not a chatbot. Now this is not a chatbot, please, because I'm talking about an AI agent that can actually reason, that can schedule and seal a deal for you. That's the most important thing, where this AI agent can seal a deal, can close a deal for you, or can continue chatting with the customer, following them up even when they stop chatting, and maybe 2 hours later or the next day, this AI agent can send a message to this lead in your business and keep following them up based on how you set it, or based on the instructions you are giving it while you are sleeping. And once this person is ready to pay, the AI agent can even collect payments for you. Or if you don't feel safe with that way, the AI agent then alerts you that, well, I've been conversing with this person is ready to buy. And this customer might not even know that he or she is chatting with an AI agent. And it's very interesting. So I just want to show you. Now I'm not going to say much about this. I think it's the best I show you. So it can activate leads, it can close deals, and when it gets to the point where it has closed the deal, it can alert you that, all right, this customer is ready to pay. So I'm just going to do a brief demo. And what this agent has been customized for the real estate industry, but of course we can use it for different industry. Probably it's auto dealers, pharmacies, supermarkets, legal law firms, almost any industry that has digital processes, it can work there. So let's just go there. I'm just going to do a brief demo. And so let's say for example, a customer comes to chat with your maybe to chat with an human being to ask, okay, what property do you have? But they don't even know that this is an AI agent, and it's never going to sound like an AI agent or a chatbot anyway. So it says, okay, what property do you guys have in Lekki that's within the range, okay, of let's say 50M to 100, let's say 150M. I don't even have to type 100 million on Naira, or it understands all of that. So once I send that, so let's just see. So I'm gonna send it. So you see now, it's actually running and trying to really understand. You can see it, what is going on. So that's, you can see that it has responded to us. And what did it say? It said, good day, Mr. Zacchaeus, it's a pleasure to have you reach out to us. We have a few fantastic property in Lekki that fell within your budget range of this. Currently available, we have this and that. Would you like to schedule, sir? Or perhaps Nigerians, we like sir a lot, so, or perhaps you like more details. Other thing I want to show you that this agent can also receive audio, right? It can understand audio. For example, Nigerians just don't have time to type, and that happens a lot. So if that happens, so let me just do a demo. So for example, let's say I tell this, let's say, do you have any property in Bagada that is a 5-bedroom duplex? My budget is probably between 80 to 100 million, and I need you to be very specific with me. Thank you. So what the agent is going to do is going to analyze the audio and try to give a very comprehensive feedback based on what this person has asked via audio, and it's just going to send that response back to the person, and let's see what it's going to say. And so it's saying, I appreciate your clarity, sir. While I couldn't find, it say Bagada. Okay, it didn't try actually get what I said. I do have a couple of 5-bedroom duplex in let's see what it's saying. We have a spacious, so he didn't actually understand. So I'm just going to say it again. So what I mean, I said, do you have something in the Bagada area of Lagos? So let's just see what it's going to bring out. Probably it's going to interpret in Bagada properly now. Okay, so it's got what I said. I understand you're looking for a 5-bedroom. So initially, it didn't actually get what I was trying to say. He thought I was saying Bagada. What did he say? But now it's seeing that, okay, we have, I'm actually asking for Bagada area of Lagos. So it's saying between 80 to 100. So if you see what just happened is that the previous audio I sent, I said in Bagada area, I mentioned the 80 to 100 million, but he didn't understand I was saying Bagada. So when I just said the second audio, I said what I meant is Bagada. So it now said, oh, so it could actually connect the current conversation with the previous conversation. It has context of all the existing conversations that is going on, and that's very, very powerful what these tools can do. Another instance is some customers may not have the time to be explaining. They just get a picture and send and ask, do you have this? So let's say, for example, a customer just comes here and says, do you have this kind of property in VI? So let's say, okay, let's say in Lekki, let's say in Lekki. Yes, we send it, and it's just going to try to understand what we are trying to say. So it's going to analyze the image, it's going to try and interpret the image based on what it sees, and it's going to also read the caption of the image and to send corresponding messages based on what they have in that particular area. So let's see what it's going to say. So let's see, it says that sir, you do have an excellent option in Lekki that match your description. A modern, you see, it's analyzed that image and say we currently have a luxurious 5-bedroom duplex in Lekki, this and that. This property comes with BQ. So would you like me to schedule an inspection visit? So the moment I said schedule an inspection visit, what it's going to do is that it's actually going to book that inspection with the it's going to actually ask you series of questions. Okay, can I get your email, your maybe your phone number? If it doesn't have your phone number, then it's going to just schedule it in the Google Calendar that we are seeing here. So it can do all of this stuff. I may not be able to do entirely all the demos of what this thing can do, but another very interesting thing that what it does is, let me just quickly explain that, is sometimes you can have customers that can be very problematic, and they might want to say, okay, let's say for example, okay, say do you have any property in Abeokuta? Let's just run some. So let's see what it's going to say. So normally it say, yeah, it say, good day sir, I hope you are doing well. I have checked our current events, and at the moment we don't have. So this is a real estate company that only deals in Lagos State. We say we don't have, they only have in Lagos and Port Harcourt. So it's now going to suggest, do you have, would you be interested in exploring? So let's just imagine that we have this scenario where a customer comes to say, oh, after getting this kind of response, you know the way Nigerians can be Nigerians, and he said, I don't think you understand what you're saying. What do you mean? Can I talk to your superior? This is a very typical scenario that can happen when customers are trying to get inquiry from the business, and Nigerians being Nigerian, trying to be very bossy. So the agent has a scenario where it can handle things like this that are beyond its what it can handle. It has another agent called the CEO's Brain Agent too, and what that does is that CEO's Brain Agent too is where we create the digital twin of the CEO, and this is a very novel solution we have come up with, where we have an agent that learns every experience the CEO has ever had concerning that business. Because when you look at the most experienced person in a particular business, is always the CEO. Because even before anyone else has been hired for that business, the CEO might actually be the one person or two or three person in the team, doing many things at the same time for that business. So the CEO, the way the CEO will interact with a customer will be different from the way an employee will interact with a customer, because the CEO has more context of the business, is more experienced. So in scenarios where maybe the Tosin agent the customer is asking things that the Tosin agent cannot answer, the Tosin agent is going to reference the CEO's agent. The CEO's agent is going to reference the CEO's experience. So the CEO agent or digital twin is where we try to use that agent to extract as much industry and business knowledge from the CEO himself, the owner of the business, as much as possible. Every conversation the CEO has ever had with previous customers, the experience, the CEO is going to document as many of their own experience as much as possible, and into a database. And the CEO digital team is going to reference this as his own experience, so that when the Tosin sales agent is handling customers that are giving tough time, the Tosin agent is going to reference the CEO's digital twin to now try to understand what what the agent should do, right? The way a normal employee will try to reference is try to reach out to his superior to try to understand how to handle a particular customer. So I may not be able to do this entire demo here now, but I might do it in a second video. So, and the reason why we have done it is because we want this to be as organic as possible, where these kind of scenarios we try to see, you see that it happens in real life, and we try to create that scenario for the agents to be able to handle. So the CEO's digital twin is there to help the Tosin, the normal agent, sales agent, to handle complex scenarios. And when we now have a scenario that is even beyond what the CEO's digital twin can handle, then they log that request for the real human CEO to handle by themselves, and that happens really. So let us see what it's going to say. So you see that it has referenced this CEO's agent, and let's see the request. So it's going to say, I apologize, sir, I haven't been clear of what if I I genuinely this and that. So in the best interest of the company, the CEO's digital twin felt, okay, you know what, instead of me trying to reply, you know what, let's us book a call. So he's going to ask, can you give us your phone number, your email address? In the meantime, I could clarify what I'm not trying to understand. If you could clarify what I'm not. So it's actually using the CEO digital twin to try and formulate a response based on CEO's kind of experience, the way the CEO will respond, the CEO's kind of understanding of customers. So it is that mature, and this is a very interesting tool. And of course, there's even other things that I would have loved to show. For example, we could also have a way for humans. Maybe you have your human sales agent that wants to ask you something, but you are not available. They can always ask your digital twin, right? And that is what we have here. And that your digital twin can even advise your human sales agent on what to do, not just the AI sales agent. Your digital twin can advise your human sales agent, and that's what, because your digital twin has your experience documented somewhere, and it can formulate response based on what you would have done. And of course, this entire workflow can log requests, create Google Calendar. So it's a very self-replicating agent. And of course, every morning this entire system sends detailed reports to the CEO, the human CEO, based on what has happened the previous day. So you have an high level understanding of what's going on in your business 8 a.m. every day, or however you want to set it. So that's what this agent can do. Very interesting. It can understand images, understand audio, interact with customers. It isn't going to send follow. For example, if I leave this probably till tomorrow and I don't respond, this system is going to send a follow-up message to the customer, like, hope you are good. It's just going to send a follow-up message and try to ask, I think, let me be sure if they. So look at this. For example, this is 25th of March. We interacted with this agent. There was no response. So what did we say? He said he's sending a follow-up response. Can you see? Still thinking about. So this is a follow-up response. There was no response. In the next day again after that, he sent a follow-up response. So it is able to keep following up your customers, just to ensure that those leads are hot, and you are able to secure them. And of course, you want to do it in a way that customers are not overwhelmed. And once the customer responds, oh, okay, I just need a bit more time, the entire system is just going to pipe down on that customer for a while, maybe for another 2 weeks before it sends another response. So it's a very powerful tool, and if you know this is going to help your business, which I know it will, just reach out to us, and we can always implement this for your business. Thank you.